Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Master, O Mother, I don't want the bliss of the divine inebriation. I shall eat Sinthi. Divine inebriation is a state when I lose all control over myself, all awareness of the external world. I transcend and go beyond. This external world is there, just like when I sleep, how I become unaware of the external world, my bodily existence. Same thing happens in the divine inebriation. In sleep, I go to dream state, deep sleep. In case of divine inebriation, I go to superconscious state, the Turiya, where I experience Samadhi, more real reality. Now, just like I wake up from dream, then I see the dream world. I was experiencing whole dream that went on was unreal. Till I wake up from dream, dream is real for me. When I wake up, how the unreality of the dream shines, the same thing happens when we enter into higher levels of consciousness. We are moving from the lower level to higher level. Every day we are passing through waking, dreaming and deep sleep. From deep sleep I come to waking. Can I go beyond? Can I go to higher levels of consciousness? Yes. You have to slowly dissociate yourself from the waking state, all attachments, just attachments, all duties, responsibilities, love for all beings, all that will remain, I, mine and for me. These three entities, I, mine and for me. When we dissociate from it, we enter into still higher level of consciousness, where I find this world and the whole thing is unreal. This experience is called Samadhi, where there is more freedom, more reality, more light, more joy, more peace than what we experience, whatever we can experience in the waking state. All that limits break and enter into higher and higher. So we are passing through only 3 layers. Now, totally there are 7 levels of consciousness and passing through small intermediate experiences. Now it is, now 7 chakras are there pertaining to the spiritual consciousness, Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Ajna, Sahasrara. We are moving through only lower 3, Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura. And in between, so many experiences we pass through as we go to higher levels of consciousness. And so beautiful. This world you can see, if you are calm and if you are fully satisfied with the world, and whatever you are seeking, if you get in this world, how happy you will be. Like that. If you are happy, like that, you go to higher levels of more happiness, more freedom, more this one. Like that, we go to the highest levels of absolute bliss, absolute peace, absolute love. So we pass through many stages. Now, each stage is an inebriation, divine inebriation. Body and mind, it finds very difficult to bear that experience. Then the body and mind suddenly disappears from its, unable to bear the joy, unable to bear the peace. Now you see, it's just like 440 volts flowing through a bulb of 220 volts. It suddenly fuses like that. Our body unable to bear, we enter into higher levels of consciousness. We experience great joy. And each time we come down from there, we see divine pervading everything. So this is divine inebriation. In contrast, he is telling, I shall eat Sinthi. One is divine bliss. Bliss, you see, I don't want bliss of divine inebriation. If you leave the bliss of divine inebriation, higher levels of consciousness, what you get in this world is only losing the body consciousness by medicines or drugs or drinks, something like that. So Sri Ramakrishna is saying, I shall eat Sinthi. Sinthi is a thing which makes man forget. Now there are few things. Now lowest is smoking. Smoking makes a small thrill in the bodily existence. It affects only body. And hemp and other things, Siddhi, all these work at mental level, not physical level, creating hallucinations and all that. These are working, the smoking works only at bodily level. If you go a little other things, then it affects psychological level. Mind is getting affected. And mind finds some kind of inebriation, not spiritual. A kind of thrill. Now, bodily drinks. When we come to the drinks, that is alcohol, it works at the level of consciousness. The waking consciousness is made blunt. It is not working. That's why it is prohibited, because you become less and less consciousness. You are less conscious of external world, your own welfare, your duties and responsibilities. This consciousness, once a man loses external consciousness or its effect is decreased, what would happen to him? You just imagine. He can't pay attention to anything. He cannot maintain the law and order of the society. His own welfare he cannot think of. That's why it is prohibited. Even small needs of the family he won't be able to fulfill. So one works at the bodily level, one works at the psychic level, another works at the conscious level. Now, this middle one, Siddhi, works at the psychological level. Sri Ramakrishna is telling, I lead Siddhi to the devotees by Siddhi, and Sri Ramakrishna is telling, I lead Siddhi, and what does he mean by Siddhi? He is explaining. It is like, I go for play now. When people are sitting and enjoying the fun, they are talking to each other, they have finished their meals, and some each one small group. Now he will suddenly, one person gets up, I will go for play. And play what? Then everybody thinks he is going to go for play. Then he will take something, a ball he has, he throws at one of the groups. And what is the ball? Not physical ball. A ball of birds. Suddenly he will comment on someone. A group is sitting and that group is commenting. Their attention is drawn. Now he's playing with words. He's not playing with physical ball. He's throwing words at them. Now I'm playing, he explains what is meant by play now. I'm going to play, he says. Now I'll play with words, I will throw. You have to catch and throw me back. Something like that. Now Sri Ramakrishna is explaining, if I eat, I said, I eat the Sinthi. Sinthi is generally what people take to make mind forget or some feelings of mind, something like hallucination feeling and all that. That they eat it. So he is telling, I will eat Siddhi. And he is explaining what is meant by Siddhi. What does he mean by Siddhi? To the devotees. By Siddhi, I mean the attainment of spiritual goal and not one of the 8 occult powers. Occult powers also is called Siddhi. Here eating Siddhi is mental, psychological effect. By Siddhi, I mean, here Sri Ramakrishna is telling, neither the divine inebriation nor the Ashtasiddhi, 8 occult powers, but realization itself. I mean, attainment of spiritual goal and not neither eating nor the 8 occult powers. 8 occult powers, Anima, Mahima and all that. You will be seeing me, I disappear. I am there itself. None can see me. I am sitting in the same place. I am not visible to anybody because I do Sanyama on Akasha, space. I meditate on space in such a way, I become one with the space. Space cannot be seen. So too I cannot be seen. This is called occult powers, Siddhis. Now, not even Siddhi, he is telling it is realization of God. Not one of the 8 Siddhis, but spiritual goal. Shri Krishna said to Arjuna, friend, if you find anyone who has acquired even one of the 8 powers, not all, even one of the 8 powers, then know for certain he will not realize me. 8 powers, one of the powers is he will not realize God. For powers surely beget pride. Ego comes into picture. I come into picture. I can do this, I can do that. And God cannot be realized if there is the slightest trace of pride. You can see in the world, present world, each wants to project something. He wants to show he is different from others. He or she. Always they are now, each one is presenting himself in a particular way that the deep inside is the pride. Pride comes before a fall. And realization of God, which is the aim of life, cannot be achieved. According to a certain school of thought, there are 4 classes of devotees: Pravartaka, Sadhaka, Siddha, and Siddha of the Siddha. He is taking the word Siddha. Starting from the divine inebriation, he is going to the ultimate. According to the certain school of thought, there are Pravartaka, Sadhaka, Siddha, and Siddha of the Siddha. He who has just begun religious life is a Pravartaka. Pravartaka is just being introduced and he has kept a foot in the. Now it is some children, we want to make him admit to school. We want to admit him to school. Now they inform the child. School is, we show other children going to school. Oh, look that those boys are going, these boys are going. All that, you will get information. They will take them a few times to school, to leave someone to school. What is living there? You will see all children playing, enjoying their life, all that. Now he comes back. Daily he is experiencing something, understanding. His understanding is becoming clear. What is school? How the children are going. Yet he has not begun. The first day he is admitted to school, mother leaves him in the school and come back. He has become a pravartaka. He has entered, he has kept his footing in the school. Now he has begun his studies. Systematically he has begun studies. When it ends, so like that pravartaka, then siddha of the siddha. He finishes his graduation, he finishes his post-graduation, he finishes his PhD, and all that goes to the highest level. Now he can teach others. Now he is siddha of the siddha. Finishing graduation is something like he has become siddha. He has finished his education, he need not continue. Master's degree is another feather in the cap. And entering into research and finding something new which nobody has seen or known in his subject is called PhD, doctorate. Now, after the doctorate, he is considered to be perfected. When the doctor means he can teach, he can cure. So he has got siddha. Similarly, in the spiritual life, pravartaka, such a man puts on denominational marks on his body and forehead. All the Vaishnavas will put the nama, Shaivats will put horizontal, and all these, so many marks. Dresses, the Shaktas wear particular type of dress, Vaishnavas will wear another dress. The Shaivites, they put on some marks on the body here, there, on the forehead, on the hands, and all that. So each one, these external signs they put on the body, denominational signs. It shows he is a pravartaka, he is entering. Wears a rosary around his neck and scrupulously follows other outer conventions. Externally, what all he has to do. He should not touch these people, that he should not walk here and there. If he goes out, he has to wash his feet. All these external things he observes. He should not eat in the street. Many rules and regulations he follows, all external conventions. The sadhaka has advanced farther. His desire for outer show becomes less. When he goes a step ahead, his external signs become less important. He longs for realization of God. It becomes, now it is like a man who has finished his graduation and searching for a job. He longs for realization of God and prays to Him sincerely. Silently, he is weeping within himself. Where are you, Lord? Where are you, Lord? He repeats the name of God and calls on Him with guileless heart. Guileless heart. Simple. Where are you? Please come to me. I don't have any qualities to reach you. I don't know where you are, how you are, whether you are there or not. Nothing I know. But people say, and they say you are compassionate, you are Dina Bandhu, you are the friend of the aspirants. All this, he goes on praying. Now and then, now whom should we call a Siddha? He who has absolute conviction that God exists and is the sole doer. I am not the doer, God is the doer. Sole doer, he who has seen God. He has seen God, met God. And who is the Siddha of Siddhas? One who has seen God and attained Him is the Siddha. And who is the Siddha of Siddhas? He who has not merely seen God, but has intimately talked with Him as his father, son, or beloved. That he has entered into relationship and entered into the inner apartments of God. He is freely moving about in their house. It is one thing to believe beyond the doubt that fire exists in wood. Person beyond doubt, he knows that wood has fire within. But quite another to get the fire from wood, cook rice and with its help and appease one's hunger and so be satisfied. Fire is there in the wood, he is knowing. But when he lights the wood, gets the fire and cooks the food and eats and satisfies, these are two entirely different things to know and to experience. No one can put a limit to spiritual experience. No one can put limit to spiritual experience. If you refer to one experience, there is another beyond that, and still another, and so on, endlessly. It is like how many waves are there in the ocean? Countless. One after the other goes on coming. So are the spiritual experiences. You can't limit. You cannot say each experience will be like this and this alone. No. It is each spiritual experience is entirely different from the other. And so on. In an ecstatic mood, referring to Brahmo Samaj, of which Narendra was one of the member of the, Narendra means who is going to become Vivekananda, one of the members of the Brahmo Samaj. In an ecstatic mood, referring to Brahmos, they are Brahmajnanis. They believe in the formless deity. That is good. They are Brahmajnanis. Here Brahmajnanis means it's something like one who believes and follows a particular tradition, path. Brahmajnanis. Now, the origin of existence of Brahman is one thing. That is Vedic understanding. The whole thing is one reality appearing in many ways, and all that we commonly think about. That Brahman exists, a thing which is beyond all and the ultimate reality. To know that the source is Vedas, Brahmajnanis. So the same terminology is used here, just like student is a terminology. Brahmajnanis is one who accepts a Brahman exists and try to realize it, are also called Brahman. Just say Vyakarana. Vyakarana is one who is studying, is also called Vyakarana. And one who is expert in and finished his education and expert in the Vyakarana is also called Vyakarana. So he is practicing medicine. Practicing medicine begins from his joining into medical course. And just like that, whole life he will be practicing. Two professions, medical and law, we call it practitioner. He continues to be practitioner at all times. Brahmajnanis, they believe in the formless deity. That's good. To Brahmo devotees, be firm in one ideal, either in God with form or in the God, formless God. Both are valid. Both are lead to realization. But have that firm conviction, have that, be totally dedicated to that firm, it's called firm in the ideal. One ideal. Then alone you will realize God. Realization. That is, someone began to, I want water, he started digging in one place. He started getting sand, and sand alone he left it. Another place when he went, he started digging. There he got little stone, and he left and continued another. No, one place, whatever comes, I will go here. Then alone you will realize God, otherwise not. With firm and unwavering belief, the followers of God with form will realize Him, as will those who speak of Him as formless. Suppose a person has firm conviction that God is formless and follows, he will also realize. One who takes up God with form also realizes Him. You may eat cake with icing, straight or sidewise. It will taste sweet either way, or laugh. Now you see, God is, when we say God, it is something mysterious. It is something very difficult to understand. But when we come to Sri Ramakrishna, we clearly start understanding God is how we approach. Exactly, He appears in the same way. You go to the God as Nirguna Nirakara, He appears to you, He approaches you exactly as Nirguna Nirakara, nothing else. You go to Him as Saguna Sakara, He manifests exactly like Saguna Sakara and nothing else. As you go, it's something like you are going to a mirror. Whatever you are, it reflects. Whatever your heart is seeking and understanding God as so and so, God manifests in that way. That's an important thing we learn from Sri Ramakrishna. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.